Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial we are going to be getting a sneak peek at yet another amazing Brittany bundle, volume 6 from Gracefully Created. We're just going to jump right in and see all of these gorgeous vinyls. I seriously cannot get over the colors. The camera does not do it justice because they're so vibrant it's hard for it to pick up correctly, but you can see how absolutely beautiful these are. If you have not seen a tutorial in the past or heard of my bundles with Gracefully Created, I personally pick 12 patterns, and Gracefully Created puts them on sale in a bundle at a discount. This one will go on sale on the 4th of April, and then usually the following week after that they are listed individually, but it is at regular price. So you definitely want to try to get one of the limited bundles so that you can save a little bit of money and get that bundle discount. I will drop her group link down below so that y'all can join and get up-to-date notifications on the exact time that these will be released on the 4th. So I just took this sheet of vinyl and wrapped it around my 24-ounce plump from the steel Magnolia. I marked it off with my nail down at the bottom and sliced that just so it would expose a slight bit of stainless around the top and the bottom rim. I'm making another tumbler for my daughter, so instead of the regular 24-ounce lid, we're going to change this over to a 24-ounce HYDROFIT. I love that you have that option with the steel Magnolia. You can change from a regular lid to a hydro, and that's a really awesome option to offer your customers. They can drink their coffee out of it early morning and then pop the hydro lid on for water in the afternoon. I put the hydro lid on the tumbler so I can line up my seam with the back side of the lid. I took my vinyl, cut a little slither of that paper backing off, and then wrapped it around my tumbler until it was perfectly aligned at the top. I placed that seam slightly to the left of where I would want my actual seam to be once I trim off the excess. And then I just pushed that little sticky bit down that was exposed and used my little vinyl squeegee from TeckWrapcraft to push that vinyl around the tumbler. I took a piece of masking tape and just went straight up and down the seam. Normally I'm pretty good at cutting a straight line, but here lately they have been all jaggedy, so it's better to be safe than sorry. I'm putting a strip of tape so I have a straight guide to go along as I am trimming my vinyl off. Once you have trimmed your vinyl, you're going to want to remove that excess strip on top and then lift the top or the bottom corner of it, grab that vinyl that is underneath and then pull that out, and then press your remaining vinyl back down. And if you noticed, this vinyl went on smooth as butter and it was really easy to remove that slither of vinyl out from underneath. This is because Gracefully Created uses matte removable vinyl. It makes it extremely easy to work with, and if there's any error you can just pull it right back off and replace it on your tumbler without concern of ruining your vinyl. So I just showed you a little clip of the vinyl sort of poking out from the bottom rim. If your vinyl goes slightly over that curve on the bottom of your tumbler, sometimes it doesn't really want to stick down or you get little indentions and creases. Just take a heat gun and very lightly, you don't want to overheat it, very lightly warm up your vinyl and press it around the bottom or the top rim of your cup wherever you're having issues. And it almost works like shrink wrap. It shrinks your vinyl just a little bit and allows you to press that down and avoid any of those bumps at the bottom of your tumbler. So I am going to paint the bottom of this. I just took that same masking tape, taped around my vinyl, and I'm using COLORFLEX paints by ARTISTRY EPOXY. I'm using lilac and white. And you will notice I did not shake up my white, but it's still, we still got a good result out of it. So make sure you shake up your paints before you use them. I used a makeup brush, just the $1.25 store makeup brush, so that I could get a nice and even coverage. I removed my tape and then used my heat gun and applied very little heat to dry the paint. This paint is designed to go directly onto the stainless of your tumblers. Of course, you can use it for many different projects. It also has an adhesive in it, so it does take it just a bit longer to dry because it is designed for you to put your glitter on directly while it is still wet. So if you decide to dry that a little bit quicker than it naturally dries, you want to apply very little heat so that it does not bubble underneath. You don't want to heat the stainless up too much to where it causes any bubbles underneath your paint. Now to put our fulls on, I am using Tack It and just a small brush. I am going in with random brush strokes. I don't want too much fulls on this because I absolutely love this pattern and I don't want to cover it up. I'm going super light with my Tack It, and I actually did have to go back in and add a little bit more because I had it too thin. But if you want more coverage, then you want to do heavier Tack It. Just make sure that it is dry completely before you add your fulls on. I'm once again using my heat gun just to dry that up really quick. Light heat, I'm moving it back and forth and making sure that I'm not overheating my tumbler because I don't want to ruin my vinyl or my paint that is on the bottom. I've grabbed one of my favorite fulls from Southern Belle glitter and trimmed off just a little sheet of it since we're not going to use very much. I placed it over the areas that has Tack It and then rubbed that down with my fingers. These fulls work extremely well. It's easy to get them to remove from the backing that they're on, but once again we are going for extra light coverage. I don't want a solid block or solid spot of the fulls. I just want some light random spots to give this a little bit more dimension. I'm really horrible of not being able to find or remember where I put my Tack It glue. So if you are ever in question, of course it dries tacky, so just rub your finger over the tumbler, or worst case scenario, just wrap the fulls all the way around, rub it down, and wherever it's sticky, it will leave the fulls behind. So to add our glitter on, I am taking glitter glue, also from Artistry Epoxy, and I'm going in with the same random brush strokes. I'm keeping all of my brush strokes alongside my full spots because once again I don't want to cover up too much of this pattern. And then I also put some on the bottom so that we wouldn't just have a solid purple on the bottom. In the very beginning, when I trimmed my vinyl, I actually saved that small bit that was remaining so I could cut a circle out of that and put it on the bottom of my tumbler. But at this point I had completely forgot, and of course it was too late once I put the glitter on here. The first glitter that we used is DEJAVU. I just sprinkled that around. It doesn't matter if you go heavy or light because your brush strokes are light, so you can pretty much just throw it on there. Then I repeated all of those steps once again. I added on my glitter glue and the random brush strokes. I just went inside the strokes of the first glitter and also in a couple other areas by itself, and then sprinkled on VORTEX, also from PDB Creative Studio. After I finished my glitter, I just went around and tapped down any of those pokey bits that were sticking up, gave this 2 hours to dry, sealed it twice with Rust-Oleum matte clear coat, and gave it one good coat of Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set. I created this SVG to match the tumbler, and it will be available in the Brittany Barnes Boutique Facebook group, so if you want to join and grab this for yourself, the link will be down below. I resized it to 6.5 inches wide and then just stretched it down a little bit so it would be a little bit taller. It had a couple weird random spots on it, so I just hit contour and removed those random dots, duplicated it, and then created a 0.035 offset of that second image, highlighted them, and then welded it together so it would be just a little bit thicker for our cool offset that we're gonna do. And then I clicked on that original SVG and created a 0.02 offset to give that a teeny tiny little border so that it stands out from our fulls that we are using for the large offset. I changed them all to the same color so they would all cut on the same mat. We are using a beautiful pink from TeckWrapcraft for the top. The teeny 0.02 offset is going to be black, and then we are using shape tape from Artistry Epoxy for our main offset. I love the shape tape so much because there's so many things that you can do with it. If you want to use it for one of the popular burst designs, then you would cut that on washi tape setting, which is 0.06, I believe. My next tutorial is actually a burst design using the shape tape. But if you want to use it for a decal, then you can cut it using the regular vinyl setting along with your other vinyl, and it will cut through those first 2 layers, leaving the back so that it's easy to remove. You can pull the protective covering over and then just place either your glitter or your fools over top of that, and you get a really awesome and unique design. It probably would have been better if I put it directly on my tumbler and then adhered the fools to it, but I will tell you, shape tape is super, super sticky. That is an excellent problem to have because it gives you awesome glitter coverage when you're doing a burst design or you're applying glitter to it, and obviously the fools stick right to it with no issues. But that also means that it really sticks to your tumbler. It's not easy to remove, so I decided to do it separate and then add this all on together. But to do that, you want to make sure that your transfer tape is not very sticky. So I just popped it on my table a couple of times and then actually ended up sticking it to my shirt to take some of that stickiness away, so that when I apply it to my tumbler, it's not going to take away any of the fools off of the shape tape. So I layered all of those together, and instead of doing a dead center offset to the fools, I pulled the actual image up and to the left so that we will have just a really cool retro vibe offset. Now, if your transfer tape is too sticky and you accidentally remove some of your fools from your shape tape, that is okay. You can take your fools, go right back over those areas and rub them in really well, and you won't have any issues with it overlapping any of your other vinyl. Since we don't have a ton of glitter on this, I decided to add some Diamond Dust Mica from PDB Creative Studio to my Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set so that I can give an all-over shimmer to the tumbler. Now, as I said, I used the 1:1 ratio fast set for this layer to cover up my vinyls. You can use this as a top coat, but I had plenty of time to finish this one up, so I allowed this to dry completely, sanded just to make sure there were no pokey bits sticking around my tumbler, and then finished it off with a layer of Artistry's regular epoxy. Man, I'm so obsessed with how this turned out. It is for my daughter, but deep down I really want to keep it for myself, so I'm definitely going to have to get my hands on some more of this pattern whenever these are released. Once again, they will be released on April 4th, 2022 as a discounted bundle of 12 at gracefullycreatedccd.com. Their group link is below, so make sure that you click that. Join the group so you can get the exact times and notifications when it is released. They will be released individually after the sale, but it will be at full price. All of the other materials I used in this tutorial will be listed in the description below. And don't forget to also join Brittany Barnes Boutique Facebook group. We will be giving away one of these bundles. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell in the corner to be notified anytime a new tutorial drops. That's all for today. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next time.